Welcome back. I'm your host, Jen Potter of Networking Now. For our last segment, we have Susan Drayton, who is a local artist and author, and also a good friend of mine. So, thank you so much, Susan, for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. So I know all about you, and you are a wealth of knowledge. You do so many amazing things here in the community. Not only are you a super talented author, you also are an incredible artist and a Reiki master. And if you want to just tell our audience a little bit about who you are and what you do, and I would love to hear more about your books.
Well, I am an artist of many canvases, many mediums. I had this skill set as a young age and didn't really think much of it other than it came to me naturally when I was a child and just continued with the art into adulthood. Decided to take it more serious and find a mentor that would assist me in honing in more of the skills and learning different mediums. And as she did, I then branched out into creating a book. I didn't even realize I was creating a book. I was actually escaping reality of having to make some really hard changes, didn't know the outcome, and worthiness was on its way. And I started with the illustrations, and then from there, the storyline. It got published 2014 of April 4th, and target audience is elementary level, but in actuality, it actually can target all ages. It's really embracing about authenticness and who you are, where you are. And Seth is the dragon, the main character of the book, and the fairies, along with Mother Gaia, is assisting Seth in moving forward and facing all the shadow sides and the uncertainties. And then, as that got published by Mascot Books, it then went, I rolled right into creating The Beauty of Naya. And The Beauty of Naya is all about the mermaids and humanity, different cultures, and having to find gratitude and appreciation and saving Naya, which is the body of water that we all need, and how to come to that conclusion of gratitude and feeling the worthiness and collaboration of coming together. That is mostly for the young adults, I would say like high school level. Um, but yeah, I am now working slowly on my third one that is called Surging from the Kingdom Within. And that's going to be different, more adult oriented and focusing more on the transformation of self worth and adversities and how to overcome it at your own pace with your journey and who you are and where you are.
I really love that, and how there are all these different stories that kind of tie into each other, but they also gradually go from a younger mind to an older mind. And
Hmm.
so, whether or not you did that intentionally, I think that's really great. And, listening to you talk on our last segment, we actually had another entrepreneur local. Like I said, Jen
Hmm.
was on here, and one of the things that she focused on was gratitude. So, I love that organically that kind of came up in all of our segments about being grateful and having gratitude, because I feel like it's life changing, right? And I know that that's something that you really focus on, knowing you very well, and knowing, being my Reiki practitioner,
Hmm.
when I'm feeling all of these things and all these emotions, that's something that you always kind of go back to. And that's something I really enjoy about you. But hearing you talk about your books, because I know about your books, but really understanding the story behind them, I think is really cool. And the mission of all of the different things that you do. So I think that's awesome. And like you said, you have different mediums of art. And so the book being one of them, and or three of them, but kind of going into some of the other art that you create, I know I have personally have some beautiful pieces of art that I'm going to be putting up in my own home that you have created for me. And you have this, it's, you can kind of see it in her books, and you really have to look at all of her work. Go on her social media site, go and see her at SoCo Art Labs if you're local to Massachusetts, Rhode Island area, because her art is so unique. And I'm not just saying that to say this. You come up with these such incredible, intricate designs, and every time I look at it, it's like I see something different.
Mm.
And that's, it kind of showcases all of these different sides of you and all of the different things that you create, because your art is just there. It's so beautiful, and I've always adored that about you, and I love that you've intertwined that into your stories as well. So not only are you able to tell a story through your artwork, but you're also able to tell a story through your book with artwork attached to it. So knowing that you do all of this, doing this other stuff, such as your paintings and stuff like that, tell us a little bit about what you're currently working on in the painting realm.
In the painting realm. So now I paired up with another artist, Sasha, who is also an RN, and she's here at SoCo Art Labs here in Fall River. And she is taking on such a big task, and she wants to start an orphanage out in Uganda. So I decided, since I have my skills, my talents in the arts, and it's branching different ways too, and why not put it to good use? So, Love Without Borders, Unity of Hope and Art. I have different paintings, and part of those proceeds of those sales will go towards the mission of opening up an orphanage in Uganda. To my understanding, the purchase of a land parcel is $1,000, and when she reaches whatever the goal is to purchase the amount of land that she needs, then she's going to build the necessary fundamentals that creates a safe haven for the children to prosper and grow and have a better future. As that's going on, I also took up two more adventures of the art, and it's branching one into taking recycled furniture and upcycling them and adding a twist, a different look to it. And some of it could be done with just staining or resin. So it brings other artists here in Fall River um, to come together and express their talents and put it to good use. And also, it helps with the environment. And we are connecting with interior decorators, anybody with B&Bs, hotels. That's my goal, as well as an office environment that you would like to have a beautiful piece that just adds a little something extra and special and comfy to who you are, and a reflection to your own taste. And then I also am branching out into a clothing design, but this clothing is specifically to a sport. And it is for the e-skateboards, the electrical e-skateboards, and I'm designing clothing that are carrying the chargers that it needs for the skateboards. So I'm in the middle of just trying to come up with funds for that so it could be executed. And then obviously being promoted, and hopefully somebody will want to pick it up and fund me or what have you, and take it from there. So those are my gifts, and my gifts is the skills of creating. And what I love about my skills is that I'm not just painting. One, it's healing me, and two, I'm giving back to the community with whatever they need. And through the sales of selling my artwork and hopefully benefiting people and what they do and how they do it with a little bit of style. And yeah, I enjoy that part of me.
And I love that. And knowing, knowing about all the adventures, like kind of on the back end that you do, and hearing you talk about them. And I know, I play a small part in being, giving you some of those things that you were able to upcycle. I was so excited knowing that they were going to be upcycled and being able to be used for something else, right? And with the other project that you're working on, like I obviously knew about that as well. So it's amazing because all of them, even though you're like me, right? Like I'm the person who has all of the businesses and I do all of these things, and people are like, wait a minute, it's not connected, but it is, right? And I see that within your vision of all of the different things that you do, and knowing all of the things that you do. And you did mention this, right? Like you talked about Sasha's project and a portion of your proceeds. This is not something new. This is something that Susan's always done. She's always paired up with nonprofits and local organizations and has given back to them through the sales of her artwork. And this is something that I've seen you do quite a lot. And I think that that's really amazing that you are able to do that and be able to give back to the community. So you're always giving back. You're always working in the community. I know you do. You also, like we talked about, you do Reiki sessions. You also do art classes as well by yourself, as well as with other artists. Knowing that you're part of the art lab, you do a lot of collaborations and work with other artists here in the community. And I think that collaboration thing is one of the most beautiful things, and watching it evolve, because obviously you know how much I adore the art lab and everyone who encompasses it, and the people who founded the art lab themselves. They're absolutely incredible. And I'm not just saying that because they're friends of mine, but they've created this amazing community. And through that community, I've really gotten to know you. And that has been such a beautiful thing. And watching you continue to grow and prosper in the community, I think is amazing, because your job's not over. You have a lot more things that you're going to be doing. And if you could tell everybody how they can get a hold of you, if they're looking to purchase art, if they're looking to come to the art lab, tell us all of the things.
Well, I definitely encourage coming to the art lab, which is at 145 Globe Street in Fall River. It's a yellow building called the Tuscan Building. And also you can go to my website, which is www.susandrayton.com. And I'm also on Instagram, which is Dragon and Fairies 555. And you can get my books directly through my website. The links are there.
Awesome. Thank you so much for that. And I have a little one here who wanted to say hi to you because he adores you as well. And he loves all of the things you do, right? Is that your friend Susan? Yeah. And could you thank her so much for being on our show today?
Thank you.
Thank you. So Susan, it was a pleasure. Thank you so much for being on Networking Now. I look forward to having you on again, and I hope you have an amazing day.
You too. Thank
you.
This has been a Now Media Networks feature presentation. All rights reserved.